I went to medical school at Columbia University in New York City. I graduated and I fell in love with both internal medicine and then later, in the early days of emergency medicine, with the emergency department. Things that I did had a really positive impact on somebody's future. If you made the right diagnosis and began the right treatment, you really could turn the situation around dramatically and save a life. I began to notice losses in my vision. I had some testing done and was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa, a deterioration of the cells that actually create the visual lining of the eye. And as I lost more and more vision, it became clear to me that practicing in the traditional way that I had been practicing was going to be not a permanent solution. I contacted the Department of Labor, and they sent out a case manager who started to talk to me about what it was like to be blind. And she had worked for the Iris Network and then moved to the Department of Labor and had a background in social work. And I told her that now as my vision deteriorated, I was afraid to walk into a room because I wasn't sure where the furniture was and I didn't want to embarrass myself by tripping over the chairs. And she said, that's a very common thought from people who are losing their eyesight, but don't worry, we'll train you and you'll get the training that you need and your confidence will be restored. Because of the condition I have, at some point I will lose all my vision entirely. You know, if there wasn't an Iris Network or agencies that could train people the way the Iris Network does, I would be living essentially in a prison of blindness. I can't even begin to imagine how I would function without the kind of training in mobility training and confidence building that the Iris Network has been able to provide. And the blind and visually impaired are more than people like me who have no vision. There's such a large number of people who are elderly, who may have diabetes or who may have macular degeneration and other diseases that begin to rob them of the clarity of their vision or may create blind spots, and they don't realize the things that they can't do. And life doesn't stop just because you can't drive, or life doesn't stop just because things are less clear. There are so many things that you can be trained to accommodate, and so many devices that exist now to help restore your function, and so that you can continue to do the things that you love to do. And the Iris Network brings those to people, makes that possible for people, and, brings back their lives.